Now let's say this is US. Now what happens is one Indian has gone to US and here he is doing production worth rupees 10. What is the GDP? Macroeconomic parameters. See, now we have already discussed what is GDP, right? We have already discussed what is GDP. So let us say that this is the GDP. This represents GDP. GDP. Now, GDP, you understand that if this is India, whatever is produced within this boundary is called GDP, right? So let's say GDP is rupees 100, right? So production within the domestic territory rupees 100, and let us also assume one thing, that there is no foreigner here in India. This 100 rupees output is being produced only by the Indian people who are here. So GDP is 100. GDP is production within the domestic territory. I am just assuming that there is no foreigner here. Now let's say this is US. Now what happens is one Indian has gone to US and here he is doing production worth rupees 10. One Indian is in US also and he is doing production worth rupees 10. What is the GDP? GDP of India is 100. But one Indian is also in US who is producing 10 rupees of goods. Now the question is, what is the production by Indians? Production within Indian territory is 100, that is called GDP. But what is the production by Indians? Production by Indians is 100 plus 10. And if suppose this 100 rupee which is being produced, suppose there is a foreigner working here who is contributing rupees 5. In this 100 rupees of output which is being produced, the contribution of a foreigner is rupees 5. Then what is the production by Indians? Production by Indians is 100 plus 10 minus 5. What is the GDP? GDP is 100. GDP of India is 100. So GDP is 100. But then there is another term which we calculate, GNP, Gross National Product. Gross National Product. National means production by the nationals, the people of a country. People of a country. The concept of GNP, Gross National Product, is about people, and this is about the domestic territory. So GNP is equal to 100 in this example plus 10 minus 5. So GNP is basically GDP plus what Indians are producing abroad minus what foreigners are producing. That is called net factor income from abroad. NFIA, GDP plus NFIA. So GNP is equal to GDP plus NFIA, net factor income from abroad, right? Now there are certain confusions in this topic. A lot of students are confused. So let me clarify you. I said that production by Indians is 100 plus 10 minus 5. So it's not basically Indians. How we calculate is, there is a concept of residents. There is a concept of residents. For example, so residents and non-residents. So who are called NRIs? Non-resident Indians. Who are called NRIs? Those people who have gone abroad for more than 6 months and they have a plan to stay for long in abroad. They are called non-resident Indians, NRIs. Those who have gone for more than 6 months and have a plan to stay abroad. Those are called non-resident Indians. Now GNP is not about production by citizens. No. GNP is about production by residents. So GNP of India is basically production by Indian residents rather than Indian citizens. Because suppose Vivek is an Indian citizen. Vivek is an Indian citizen. If I have gone abroad for more than 6 months, I will become NRI, non-resident Indian. But I am still an Indian citizen. Non-resident Indians are still Indian citizens. So if I have gone for 2 years, then whatever I am producing here in US, that will not be counted in India's GNP because I have become non-resident Indian. If I have gone for 2 months and then whatever I am producing here, that will be counted in India's GNP. So GNP is about resident status rather than citizens. Understood? So GNP is about resident status. So GNP is production by the residents. Production by the residents. Now, non-factor income. So in this factor income, you already have read 4 factors of production. So suppose if a person from India has gone to US for 2 months, he is still Indian resident, and so whatever wages he is earning, that will be counted. That will be counted. If I have a company in US and I am getting profit, if I am Vivek, I am Indian resident, and I have a company in US, whatever profit I am getting, that will also be counted in India's GNP. So net factor income from abroad means all the 4 factors of production. So if an Indian resident is earning in US, if an Indian resident went to US for 2 months and whatever wages he earned, it will be counted in India's GNP. If an Indian has company, then whatever profit they are getting, that will be counted in India's GNP. If an Indian person has land in US, then whatever rent they are getting, that will be counted in India's GNP. In the same way, if a US person is owning company in India, then whatever profit they are getting, it will be counted in US GNP and it will be subtracted from our GNP. Right? So net factor income from abroad means whatever earnings are happening from the 4 factors of production of Indian residents in abroad minus foreign residents in India, right? So that is called net factor income from abroad. So if we will add NFIA in GDP, we get GNP. So this is NFIA. This becomes GNP. So GDP plus NFIA, GNP. Now whether GNP is greater or GDP greater, it depends. This NFIA can be positive or can be negative. It can be positive or it can be negative. In case of India, GNP is less than GDP. So I said that for 2020-21, our GDP is 197.5 lakh crore. This is our GDP for 2020-21. And you know GNP is how much? GNP is approximately 195.5 lakh. This is our GNP. Or GDP is a little bit higher. But don't you think that a lot of Indian people are going abroad and earning money? So in that case, GNP should be higher. Lakhs of people. See, few foreigners are coming here and working in India, but a lot of Indians are going abroad and working. So still, why our GNP is less than GDP? See, it may change in future, but right now this is the situation. The answer to this question is, even if lakhs of Indians are going abroad and working and bringing money, that is included in India's GNP. But if just one Google or Microsoft is earning profit from India, so that profit of one company is more than what 1 lakh Indians are earning from abroad. So that is getting balanced. So our GNP is less basically. Now, from GNP, we can calculate NNP. gross national product, net national product. So to get net national product from gross national product, we need to subtract depreciation. See, wherever this gross and net is coming, that means depreciation is subtracted. So let us subtract depreciation. So gross national product minus depreciation, this much. Whatever is left, that is net national product. Right? Okay. Now, in the previous example, we saw that the 4 factors of production produced a burger worth ₹100. So, when the burger was produced worth ₹100, who contributed the 4 factors of production? So, who will get ₹100? The 4 factors of production will get ₹100. And that is also called factor cost. So, in case of burger, when the 4 factors of production, they sold the burger in ₹100 in the market. What was factor cost for the burger? It was ₹100. It was ₹100. But now you all know that government imposes tax on products. Government imposes indirect. We will understand these taxes in detail later on, but for the time being, you all must be knowing about indirect taxes. So, government impose indirect taxes on product. So, let's say that when the 4 factors of production wanted to sell the burger in ₹100, if government imposes tax of ₹10 on ₹100, if government imposes ₹10 tax, then we will call it. So earlier, if its GDP was GDP at factor cost, we call it ₹100 in case of burger. And if government imposes tax, then we say GDP market price is equal to ₹100. Factor cost plus taxes becomes market price. So till 2014, when someone used to ask what is GDP, we were saying factor cost. But from 2015 onwards, if someone asks what is the GDP, we express the value of market price. So this one, we include taxes and then we call it. It's an international practice. So we also move to this international practice because then comparison becomes better. So now GDP is expressed at market price. GDP or GNP both, they are expressed at market price. So when I have written this GDP, GNP, NNP, all these are market price. If nothing is written, either FC or MP, that means by default it's market price, right? So GDP or GNP is expressed at market price. So all these are at market price. From market price, so let's say this is market price, this is market price, this is market price, right? So from market price, how to get to factor cost? Let us understand. From market price, how to get at factor cost. So the 4 factors of production wanted to sell the burger in ₹100, right? And so ₹100. This was the factor cost. This was the factor cost. Factor cost means whatever is going to 4 factors of production. Then government said that government also wants ₹10 tax. So ₹10 tax was imposed. This is ID, means indirect taxes. So this becomes the 100, 10, this becomes market price. So market price is equal to factor cost plus indirect taxes, right? Okay. Now second case, forget this thing. Second case, the 4 factors of production wanted ₹100 for their effort in case of burger. So factor cost is 100, fine. Okay. Now when they went into the market to sell the burger, government said that this is costly, don't sell in ₹100, sell in ₹90, sell in ₹90. But then 4 factors of production said that we want ₹100 for our work. If you will sell in ₹90, we will incur loss. So government said, no, you sell in ₹90 because it's costly, people won't be able to afford. So you sell in ₹90. You want ₹100, that is fine. You collect 90 from the market and you collect 10 from the government. So government will give you 10. So factor cost was still 100 rupees. So government said you collect 90 from the market. Government said that collect 90 from the market and collect 10 from the government, which is called subsidy. So this becomes factor cost. This becomes factor cost. So the four factors of production wanted 100 rupees, they got 90 rupees from the market and they got 10 rupees from the government. If you write in another way, this becomes market price is equal to factor cost minus subsidy. Right? So this is first, this is second. So if you will combine, this will become market price is equal to factor cost plus taxes minus subsidy. Now let us suppose there are certain products on which government is imposing tax also and government gives subsidies also. Both happens. Now you will ask, sir, why? See, these are policies. Taxes can't be changed every moment. It requires a bill to be passed, but subsidies can be changed without any parliament approval. So government don't want to interfere with the taxes. If government wants to reduce the price of product, it gives subsidy, it announces subsidies, then it reduces subsidy, right? So market price is equal to factor cost plus ID minus subsidy. Now, so let us suppose that on a particular product, government is imposing 10 rupees tax and giving on the same burger, let us say, government is imposing 10 rupees tax and giving 5 rupees subsidies. And four factors of production wanted 100 rupees. So, four factors of production wanted 100 rupees means factor cost will become 100. Government imposed 10 rupees tax and gave 5 rupees subsidy. So, market price will become 105. So, if this is 105, then to get NNP factor cost, what we should remove? Tax minus subsidy. So, from market price, if we remove tax, ID means indirect tax minus subsidy. So, whatever is left, this becomes factor cost. So, this is your, let us say 105 rupees. This is your 100 rupees and this is your 10 minus 5. Right? Now, see, we had only two standard terms. One was your GDP. And the other GNP. These are two standard terms. From GNP, you calculated NNP market price and NNP factor cost. From GDP, you can calculate NDP, net domestic product. How will you calculate net domestic product? NDP market price. This you subtract depreciation. The way you get NNP market price, from GNP you got NNP by subtracting depreciation. So, from GDP, if you will subtract depreciation, you will get NDP market price. From NDP market price, if you want to calculate NDP factor cost, then reduce taxes minus subsidy. So, from here you can go in this direction. So, two standard terms, GDP, GNP. From GNP you can get NNP by subtracting depreciation. From NNP market price you can get NNP factor cost. From GDP you can get NDP market price by subtracting depreciation. From NDP market price you can get NDP factor cost by reducing taxes minus subsidy. Okay. Now, this gross national product is also called gross national income. This is also called gross national income, GNI. This net national product is also called net national income. This is also called NNI, net national income, or just national income. Net national income is also called just national. If someone is saying national income, that means it means net national income. Till 2014, NNP factor cost used to be called as national income, but from 2015 onwards, NNP market price is called national income. All these things changed as per the direction of IMF from 2015 onwards. Some books are still continuing NNP factor cost as national income. That is wrong. From 2015 onwards, NNP market price is called national income. So you just understand these terms. No need to go into too much other terminology. But one term I would like to mention. See, we understood GNP is equal to GDP plus NFI, right? Now listen carefully. There are misconceptions, confusions around this terminology. GNP is equal to GDP plus NFIA. NFIA is net factor income from abroad. Factor income. When we call it this factor income means income earned by the four factors of production. Income earned by the four factors of production. Earned means we did some work. In return of something we are getting. That is factor income. If I am getting something for free, that is not factor income. If we are getting something for free, that is not factor income, that is called transfer payment. So, suppose if I went to US I am an Indian person. I am an Indian citizen. If I went to US for 2 months, still I am Indian resident. So, in 2 months, whatever wages I am getting, it will be included in India's GNP here. It's a factor income. I am Indian resident. I went to US and I worked for 2 months. But suppose I am in India and one of my friend is in US. One of my friend is a US citizen. He is there in US. He gave me some gift. He transferred some money to me. That increased my money. So he gave me money. So my money increased. It came to India and that money came to me. But can it be included in gross national product, gross national income of India? Of course, money is coming to India. Of course, money is coming to Indian person. But can it be included in GNP? No, because that free money, free transfer which I am receiving from my friend in US, that is neither part of GDP, that is neither part of NFI. It's not part of NFI. NFI is factor income. The free money, the transfer payment that I am receiving, can you include it here? No. So that is not part of GNP. For that, we have another term. National disposable income is equal to national income plus transfer payments. National disposable income. The friend who is giving me money, of course, I can dispose it off in any way. I am getting the money. So for that, the term is national disposable income is national income. In this national income, NFIA is included plus transfer payment. That means whatever I have received from friend, that will be included here. Okay. So that is all about these terms.